Hello, folks. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here. Let me go ahead and reshare my screen, and we'll go ahead and get started. Always some difficulties right off the bat. Well, first and foremost, welcome to our Back to School Kickoff series. This session right now is focused on Formative 101, building routines from the first day of school and onward. My name is Tori Lee, and I'm a school engagement manager here with Newsella and Formative. I'm a former high school history teacher, so I was in the classroom for about 6.5 years myself as a social studies teacher before I was able to come over and join the Newsella content team. About 1.5 years ago, I was able to transition into my current role as an engagement manager, where I get to help admins and teachers get the most out of their subscriptions while still maintaining alignment to their school goals and district priorities. I am so thrilled to be with you all today. Before we get started, it's helpful for me to know how familiar and comfortable our audience members are with Formative. So go ahead and take a moment and drop a number in the chat that you are most associated with. Maybe you're brand new to the platform, you've never logged in before, go ahead and throw a 1 in there. Or maybe you are a Formative certified educator. Regardless of where you're at in your journey, we want to know. Okay, we've got a healthy mix here, which I absolutely love to see. Whether you are brand new to the Formative platform today, or you are a seasoned veteran user, you are going to be coming away with something from our session that you can implement and that is new to you. So thank you so much for all being here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So in today's session, we're going to be covering 3 main objectives. Number 1, we're going to be diving into what Formative is and how can it be used in your classrooms to best achieve your goals. We're then going to look to see how to integrate Formative into your daily routines. And at the very end, we will take a look at some ready-to-use resources that are going to be available to you from the very first day of school onwards. Starting with our first objective, let's dive in to see what Formative is and how it can be used. As we go through, I'm going to be toggling back and forth from our slides to the platform so I can demo in real time. I invite you to follow along as well. We also have chat support with us here today, so if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to drop them in the chat to get an answer. We're more than happy to help you. So our first question is, what is Formative? Formative allows teachers to administer assessments, deliver data-informed instruction, gain real-time insights into student learning, and provide instant and targeted feedback to help students grow. It's a one-stop shop for your daily instruction and assessment needs. And it's not a one-size-fits-all tool. It truly can be used in a variety of different ways. Whether you want to come here for daily instruction, you can use Formative to create and deliver end-to-end lessons for any subject area with multimedia content embedded throughout. You can use it for classroom assessments and build everything from daily checks for understanding to end of semester exams using our 20 tech-enhanced item types that can be tagged to any standard. Or maybe you want to have students practice independent on their own. You can help students build skills and confidence with practice sets so that they can complete them either on their own with our 4 engaging modes, whether that be flashcards, matching, writing, or quizzes. And last but not least, you can use Formative to strengthen your PLC and department collaboration, where you can strengthen that instruction across classrooms with shared instructional materials, digestible student data, and easy common assessment creation. One of the easiest ways to build strong instructional routines with Formative is by incorporating it into your daily lessons, which can be done again across any subject or grade area. You can create unlimited activities, from quick check-ins to full lessons, using our drag and drop builder, which makes editing and customizing content a breeze. And what's powerful is that you can layer in multimedia content like video, audio, or slides to meet the different learning styles of your students. And when it comes to delivery, you have flexibility here too. You can run it live, you can let your students work asynchronously at their own pace, or you can even gamify it to boost engagement. Formative also brings purposeful AI tools into your workflow. With a few clicks, you can generate standards-aligned content, translate them into over 30 languages, or digitize worksheets from PDFs all in one place. These capabilities help teachers prepare for instruction while also giving admins a peace of mind that every classroom is equipped with high quality, accessible, and consistent learning experiences. Speaking of standards-aligned activities, let's quickly hop into formative so I can show you how to get logged in and set yourself up for success from the very beginning of the year. When you go to the formative login page, you will be met with either being able to log in with your single sign-on or your username and password. Or if you are brand new to formative today, I invite you to create your own free formative account or get logged on with your school district and follow along as we go through. Once you sign into the formative platform, you'll be brought to our homepage, or what we like to call our dashboard. And one tip I always love to suggest at the very beginning of the year with our teachers to set yourself up for success is going to be found in your account settings. Now, I mentioned previously before, and I'll dive in deeper, but you have the ability to tag any formative with any standard you might see fit. And to make it a little bit easier, you can actually preload the standards that you're using on a daily basis into your account, so you can just grab and go down the line. So here I am in the account, and I'm on the settings tab here up top, and I'm going to be focusing on the standard section. In a few easy clicks, I'm first going to search by my state. Then you can narrow down your standards by subject, and you can see the different years for the standards. And then I'll be able to narrow down by grade band. Once it's selected, I don't have to do anything else. Those standards are populated in my account. And to show you how easy it is to get started, for those of you who are brand new, you can create a formative in a few moments with the click of a button. So back on our dashboard, in the top right-hand corner, we have this blue Create button, where you're going to be able to create any type of formative, lesson, or quick start. We're going to go ahead and click on formative. Now, let's pretend I am a middle school science teacher, and I want to go over the lunar and solar phases with my students. I want to create an activity that is going to test their knowledge, but it's also standards aligned. So I'm going to give this a title. And now down here, I have the ability to manually add my own content or questions. I can upload content from previous years, or I can use some of our AI to help generate a prompt. We're going to go ahead and check that out. Once I open up this window, I'm met with a few different fields in which I need to pick out and narrow down. When it comes to generating content, you can generate text passages or a variety of different question types. Settling on multiple choice for this in particular, I want this to be for my 7th grade science students, and I'm looking to generate up to 10 multiple choice questions. Now, remember, we just went ahead and populated those standards into our account. So I can easily now grab and go and search for this standard on Earth, Sun, and Moon systems. And to take it one step further, because I already have this standard selected, I can go ahead and prompt the AI by saying, please generate questions to help students practice this standard selected. I'm going to hit generate questions down at the bottom, and within a matter of moments, I will have 10 multiple choice questions all tied to this specific standard. I can further edit them as I see fit. I can eliminate answer choices if that's an accommodation for students. I can just decide not to include one in particular, whatever you see fit. I can add them as well. And over here on the left-hand side, you'll see those 10 questions are now present. I mentioned a drag and drop builder to easily be able to manipulate your lessons and your formatives. That can be done on the left-hand side as well. And let's say I just want to quickly add one more question to this to help culminate my students' understanding. I can quickly add in a free response question. I can see the sample of what that looks like over here, as well as the description. And I can have my students tell me in their own words, explain the phases of the moon cycle. So off the bat, I now have a formative that I can use with my students. In addition to daily instructional use cases, formative also streamlines classroom assessment with over 20 question types, helping you check for understanding in interactive and meaningful ways. On any formative, student responses will be revealed in real time and are color-coded, making it easy to instantly spot who's on track and who might need extra differentiation or support. You can tag questions to track standards progression, include built-in accommodations, and provide timely, personalized feedback, whether that's written, audio, or video. And with AI tools, you can generate answer choice explanations and hints, giving you back valuable planning time without sacrificing rigor. So hopping back to our platform, I'm going to take us back to the dashboard, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite features of the formative platform. There are many, but this is the one that I love. It's called our PDF parsing. So I'm sure we have a lot of teachers in this session right now who have been at it for years, I'm sure. And in your arsenal, you probably have PDFs of exams and project guides and all these things. And we're all familiar with, if you try to upload a PDF into a Google Doc to manipulate it, the whole thing gets destroyed. So now with Formative, you can easily upload your PDFs and digitize them and make further edits much, much better. So here I am back on our dashboard and our Create button. Underneath Quick Start, I'm going to go ahead and upload my own content. Now I'm going to show you a more complex example, just so I can show you how great Formative is when it comes to this process. I just went ahead and uploaded an AP pre-calc exam PDF that's been used in the past. It's 5 pages. As I select that, we're going to come up with 2 options. I can either add these images and manually put the questions in, or I can have it parsed with AI. So I'm going to do this. I'll have it remove the PDF. We don't need that anymore. And what's going to happen is down here at the bottom, I can see it thinking. It's going to send that PDF to AI. It's going to scan and strip the language on it, strip the images from it. It's going to convert the math into LaTeX for the teacher. As that's doing it, I can go ahead and give this a name. I can provide instructions to my students. Complete this on your own time. So students see that. And as you can see, it's generating up to page 2. So I'm going to, yes, we'll let this go. This is going to be done in just a moment. As this is finishing, the questions are going to begin to appear, and I will be able to either manipulate the text, further make edits, or I can start adding in answer explanations as well as hints to help my students out. So here we have it. The questions that were on the PDF are now here. We've got the images, we've got the LaTeX, we've got the answer choices that students can choose. So without much lift on my end, this is now digitized. And to take it a step further, let's say I want my students to do this on their own as practice, but I want to set them up for success. I can go ahead and manually add answer choice explanations, or I can use AI to generate a bulk of explanations to provide for my students. So here we have, this is correct, this is incorrect. So now they're able to see, how they're doing. And to take it one step further, I can also add hints if my students get stumped on a question or not. So again, I can type this in manually, or I can generate up to 3 hint options that I can add in on my own. So here again, these can be fully edited. You can add all 3 if you want. You can add 2. But regardless, once students are assigned this is a student preview over here, you will be able to see that here's question number 1, and here are the 2 hints that I provided. So students will be able to kind of see how that's done. Now, once I go ahead and assign this to my students, that's really the fun part for the teachers in the room. This is when we get to kind of see the insights and their responses in real time. So I'm going to hop quickly to a formative that I've already given to students, and they've already started filling it out. We originally were looking at this edit tab really quickly just before. Now we're going to switch over to responses here at the top. So everything is still within this formative. I'm going to click down to my class. And again, the beautiful thing about formative is you get these real-time insights, and they're also color-coded. So off the bat, immediately, I can kind of see how my students are doing on this quiz. And I can see that a lot of kids kind of struggled with number 1. So this is making me want to click into this and see what's going on. So once I click into question number 1, I now have the ability to see all of my students' answers. But I want to make sure that I'm providing some guidance and some feedback. So I'm going to select one of the incorrect answers. And then down here, I can actually bulk select all of the incorrect answers and provide bulk feedback to my students. So instead of doing it one by one, I can type in this question's about figure of speech, so I can provide some information to my students on that as a quick reminder, and I can hit send. I also have the ability to, maybe I have a student who processes feedback better if it's verbal feedback. You can provide that audio, you can provide a video, a file, image, whatever you think would be best for your students, and you can send it. And then all of those students will have immediate access to your feedback. So far, we've covered our instruction and assessment bases, but I would be remiss if I didn't also talk about our independent student practice. For many students, confidence is key to success, and these low-lift opportunities allow them to take risks while also celebrating their wins. With Formative, both teachers and students can create customizable practice sets to review key terms and concepts. We have 4 interactive modes to keep students engaged, including leaderboards that add a fun, gamified challenge. I know when I used to teach, my students would always be so pumped when I would introduce a virtual competition. So at that point, anything to get them involved, participating, and engaged was fine by me. So your students will really love this. And then as an educator, you'll get insights into student progress on these practice sets, such as the amount of times the set has been completed by a student. So let's go ahead and dive in. One of the cool things about our practice sets is you can actually create one from a formative that's already been made. So I'm going to pop back to our lunar and solar phases that we made earlier together. And on the top of your toolbar, you have these 3 dots for more options. Clicking into that, about halfway down, you have the option to generate a practice set. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And what it's going to do is scan this formative and pull out the important terms and definitions that my students will need to really be familiarized with this formative and this information. So here now I have, with little work on my end, a variety of different practice cards that I can either continue to edit, I can add in images, I can add in audio, anything that my students might need. So you have the option to do that, or you also have the option to create a practice set from scratch. This is great if you want students to get that extra practice. Maybe you have used Quizlet or something in the past. You're able to kind of download your CSV and upload that into this platform. So again, you're not putting more work on yourself. Or we also have some AI, which is going to help generate some practice sets and take that work off of your plate. So let me just quickly show you how this is going to work. I mentioned that I'm a former social studies teacher, but I haven't put my social studies hat on yet. So we're going to ask it to generate 10 cards on the events of the American Revolutionary War. I'm going to have it generate that set. And again, within mere moments, I'm going to have 10 cards with terms and definitions in which I can provide to my students. I can further edit them. I can unselect one if I don't want it. And I can go ahead and add them to my practice set. Now, as a teacher, you have the ability to assign this to your students, and then they can complete it in these 4 practice modes. We've got flashcards, a matching game, quiz, or writing. Just to quickly show you what this looks like, turn the sound off. But when you come to one of the gamified versions, we have our leaderboard. Students can personalize their background if they want, and then they can go ahead and start testing their knowledge. And they can see if they get it wrong, they'll be told. But this is just a way, again, that low lift, building confidence as they go. Not only is Formative a great tool for keeping students engaged, but it can also help strengthen your PLC and department collaboration. With Formative, you can collaborate seamlessly. You can build and share common assessments, align on instructional goals, and easily organize content with shared libraries and folders. Teachers can share activities across teams, and collaborators can co-edit in real time, cutting down on confusion and siloed work. For administrators and coaches, the shared dashboards make it easy to monitor student progress across classrooms and ensure alignment on instructional outcomes. So let's say I have a formative that I created and I want to share it with one of my coworkers. Hopping back to our lunar and solar phases, I can easily share this with my coworkers in a few different ways. I can send them their very own copy in which they can open it up and tailor it to fit their needs. Or I can go ahead and share this specific formative with my coworkers, and we can edit it together, or they will be able to assign this as well. So we can kind of collaborate on this document. Up here at the top, there's this other button where I can view the collaborators on my document. I can add them from here, and I also have an activity log so I can see what's been done. Maybe you want to add your formative to a library. You also have the ability to do that. On formative, we have public and private shared libraries. So over here on the left-hand side, opening up the navigation bar, the public library, regardless of what type of account, even if you have a free account with formative, you will have access to everything inside the public library. You can also share your materials here as well. If you have a school or district subscription, you will be able to create your own shared private libraries where you can upload your own content and collaborate with your departments or your teams here as well. And last but not least, I mentioned that we have some really great data insights that are available on formative as well. So for example, going back to this formative that my students have already answered questions, and I'm going to take you to the third and final tab here up at the top, to insights. This is the other thing that I always get super jazzed about when it comes to the formative platform. As a former teacher, this is stuff that I used to do by hand, tallying questions that got wrong, XYZ. It would take a very long time. But now, without any work on my end, formative is going to produce this digestible piece of information that I can now take with me to my data chats, my PLC meetings, IEP meetings if need be, to dive deeper to see how my students are doing. So here we have overall performance. I can see how my students are doing. Also, if you decided to tag standards, this is the section in which you'll be able to see how your students are kind of progressing towards mastery of those standards. So for example, this first ELA standard, 57%. This kind of shows me that I might have to do some reteaching next week down the road. Scrolling down a little bit further, we also have top 3 underperforming questions. Now, this is what I used to tally by hand, right? I wanted to know, is it a bad question? Is this something I did not do a good job reteaching and I need to revisit? So now formative is actually going to pull that data for you and tell you the top 3 questions that students got wrong. And in addition to that, we also have item type performance. One of the really great things about formative is its variety of question types, really making sure students have the tools they need to demonstrate their knowledge. So we want to make sure that they're getting exposure to those different types. And let's say, you come here and you see 88%, maybe you might want to work on some more multiple choice strategy taking with your students or whatnot. So you have some additional insights into how they're doing in various aspects. So to quickly recap our purposeful AI tools, we're seeing how formative is truly integrating AI to enhance the learning experience. We've discussed AI-generated content, which lets you quickly create standards-aligned questions, assessments, and even full text passages. Our PDF parsing features instantly digitizes your existing resources, saving you valuable time and effort. We also looked at how AI can generate hints and answer choices, providing crucial scaffolding to help students understand concepts better. And of course, our translations are instantly going to make our activity text accessible for all students, really breaking down those language barriers. And finally, our AI-powered student feedback delivers targeted and timely insights across various question types, guiding students toward mastery. These tools are designed to streamline your workflow and provide richer, more personalized learning opportunities. We've seen how purposeful AI tools can truly transform the classroom. And now we're taking the next monumental leap in supporting educators. We've harnessed the power of AI, grounded it in years of pedagogical expertise and learning science research, all while prioritizing student outcomes, student privacy, and safety above all else. So please allow me to formally introduce you to Luna, your new AI-powered teaching assistant designed to truly empower and elevate your learning. Everything we've covered about formative today is still true. All the features, all the activity types, and all the capabilities that we've already covered and I'll continue to cover. But by this Thursday, July 31st, you will begin to see Luna on the formative platform, and it's going to help you make it even easier getting started and start creating. So please be on the lookout for that. Moving on to our next objective, we're going to be focusing on building solid and dependable routines from day one. So as a former teacher, and as I get to work closely with teachers in this new role, there are many common challenges that teachers are facing in those first 100 days of school. First and foremost, you are tasked with establishing routines and boundaries within the walls of your classroom. You then need to build rapport with your students, but also foster that sense of community and belonging. On top of that, you're tasked with having to quickly understand your students' skill sets and their individual needs. And then at the end of the day, you need to find time to plan and differentiate, all while managing those different learning levels. All right, we know here at Formative and Newsella that you guys are stretched tight as a drum, right? Sometimes there's not enough hours in the day. So let's see how Formative can support you with all of these asks. Speaking first to Formative's efficacy. Formative is not just another tool. It is a research-backed platform proven effective in enhancing student achievement. Our platform is supported by multiple ESSA Tier 3 studies and the highest level of evidence demonstrating that students who regularly use Formative show significant improvement across subject areas. As you can see from this graph, the amount of questions and exposure students see on Formative is linked to greater reading and writing achievement over time. Similarly, based on our research, the amount of numeric questions answered on Formative are linked to greater math achievement. As you can see from these graphs, consistent engagement with Formative correlates directly with higher reading, writing, and math scores, underscoring its tangible impact on student learning outcomes. Students thrive on routines that are executed with fidelity, so find what works best for you and them. As mentioned previously, Formative takes on many shapes and sizes. So let's take a look at the various ways in which it can be utilized throughout any given week. As you can see here, this graphic shows how easily Formative can be woven into your existing routines. On Monday, you can use Formative to introduce a new topic using slides, video, or audio. And by Tuesday, you're checking for understanding with AI-generated questions and reviewing student responses in real time. Midweek, you can have students on Formative engaging in independent practice using varied modes tailored to different learning styles, which is ideal for reinforcing skills. And then by Thursday, you can use Formative to deliver a standards-aligned quiz while also offering accommodations and tracking progress live. And finally, by Friday, this can become a time for reflection, where you can sit down, analyze data, meet with your team, and plan targeted instruction for the week ahead. What makes Formative so powerful is its versatility. You can use it for daily warm-ups, exit tickets, polls, reflections, making it a consistent, low-stakes way to gather meaningful insights about student learning throughout the week. Introducing Formative to your students in bite-sized chunks will be key, ensuring that both teachers and students are set up for success. One example that you could use when it comes to getting started with your students from day one is this really fantastic welcome back, getting to know you activity. This activity will serve two purposes. It's going to allow you as a teacher to get to know your students, begin building that rapport, but it's also going to give your students practice and exposure to answering the different types of questions on Formative. So for example, this activity in particular is actually something that is found in our public library. So navigating back to the Formative platform, I'm going to go to our library and I'm going to search for this activity. So up at the top, we have our search bar. I typed it in, and here we have this welcome back getting to know you activity. There's a quick note from the author, and I can also preview in the library on this pane which type of questions are going to be available. I really like what I'm seeing, so I want to go ahead and make this my own. I'm going to click Add Item, and then I'm going to click the green check mark to go directly to my brand new formative. So over here on the left-hand side, you can see the amount of different types of questions that students are going to get access to. For the free response question, I'm asking them to tell me about their birthday. For question number 3, I'm asking students if they won the lottery, what would they spend it on? And now they get to practice using the drawing response feature. In question number 5, I want to know what are 3 words that best describe my students? And I'm going to have them use the audio response feature. So as you can see, we have a variety of different question types. All the while, I'm getting to know some of my students' preferences, what they like and what they dislike. Maybe this is too much, and that is okay. Again, formative is not a one-size-fits-all tool. You can make it work for however you need. So let's say you want to do a welcome back activity, but you want it to be a little bit more streamlined. You don't want to throw too much at them. That's fine. Here I have a summer snapshot just to give you an idea of what else this could look like. This is only 2 questions. Students are getting access to a file response and a free response question. And I'm simply asking them, upload 1 photo that captures a moment, a place, or a feeling of your summer, right? I know my students usually all have smartphones. And in the event that they don't, they can always take a photo from the internet. So this way, all students can still participate in this. And then in a free response, I just want them to tell me about the snapshot and why it's special. So off the bat, those are 2 ways to introduce formative to your students while getting to know them and having them get acclimated to the platform. Last but not least, for our remaining objective, I want to dive into some of the excellent resources that you all have at your fingertips to really hit the ground running this school year. Whether you are brand new or you're assisting a colleague, our Getting Started Hub is a perfect place to get started. You're going to find a variety of resources from our teacher checklist to our subscription guides, as well as daily content calendars. Just to quickly show you what this looks like. When you get to the Getting Started Hub, we have a tab up top for teachers as well as administrators. So depending on your role, we're going to have slightly different checklists for you and orders of operation. And then this is where you're going to be able to access all of the information. So you'll be able to kind of access different videos to show you how to do the different steps. We also have, scrolling down just a little bit further, you can get to know your subscription guide, where you are able to kind of poke in and see the different ways to get started, create lessons and deliver lessons, work with this platform in your PLC, and so on. And then we also have access to our content calendars, which are going to provide daily activities and assignments that you can grab and go with your students as well. You're also invited to kick off the school year with live events designed to help you start strong. So you can join us to explore new features, learn best practices from fellow educators, and get tips for data-driven leadership. We offer our formative Getting Started workshops. So whether you are new to formative or you need a refresher, this session will walk through the latest features like lesson delivery and video tools, plus hands-on setup support. Also, with this year, we are going to be offering live support hours where you are able to get real-time help during these twice monthly after-school sessions. Yes, you heard that right. We want to make sure teachers can join these and attend as they see fit. So we made sure that they are after school at a time that you guys don't have to like ditch your class or anything like that, or sacrifice time aside from that. So feel free to join us there. You can ask questions, you can troubleshoot, and you can get expert tips from our onboarding, support, and integration teams. We also have certification kickoff events. You can begin your path to becoming a certified educator by joining this 1-hour session that will cover everything you need to get started with confidence. Or perhaps you prefer a more hands-on approach. We also offer our live certification workshops where you can earn your badge in real time. These are going to be full-length workshops that offer hands-on guidance, live Q&A, and support from formative experts. And you have the ability to walk away a certified pro. Lastly, with the back to school energy in full swing, feel free to keep the momentum going. We invite you to join our community and get connected with other educators. Here you can come and see what other teachers are doing across the country, gain access to some activities that they might share, or even come for some tips and tricks. Or maybe you feel ready to get started. Maybe you're feeling really energized after this session. We invite you to go ahead, log into Formative, and create your very own assignment today. Again, it can take on any shape and size, so whatever you're feeling, feel free to take it and run with it. Or maybe you're just curious to learn more before diving in, and that is totally fine too. You're more than welcome to enroll in one of our certification courses. We have our brand new Formative Foundations course, which is going to be a shorter version where you can kind of understand the basics of the platform before you dive in and get started. Or again, we have our longer certified educator workshop, which is going to provide a certification. It's a little bit more hands-on and you're diving a little bit deeper into the platform. Both are excellent resources, whether you're getting started or you're a veteran user. For some of us, our school years have already started, and for others, the first day is right around the corner. So after our Formative 101 session today, what is one takeaway you plan on bringing into the new school year? I'd love to hear from you, so go ahead and drop your answers in the chat. Okay, we have somebody exciting about parsing PDFs. I see a heart there. I'm going to heart that too because I feel the same way. Amazing. We've got some folks interested in the library, a lot of the AI features. Amazing. I know, I'm sure all of us have a lot of PDFs in our arsenals that have just been sitting there for a while. So now we can finally do something with them. All right. Well, it sounds like you guys are all on the right track. I really commend you for taking time out of your day and a lot of you, your summer vacations, for joining us here today. I know that, building routines from day one is so, so important. So I really appreciate, again, joining me, taking the time. It was an absolute pleasure going over the Formative platform together. I truly wish you the best of luck during the 25-26 school year. And I just know that your students are going to be in really excellent hands. So best of luck out there. Thank you for being here, and check out some of our resources and don't be strangers. Bye, folks.